Good morning, students. Welcome to your grammar class. Today we are going to deal with the fifth chapter of our syllabus, that is, verbs. Let us see the definition. Verbs express action, being, and position. We cannot form a sentence without a verb. Sometimes we use more than one word to form the verb in a sentence. Example, Smita walks in the garden. Here, walk is a verb and walks is the singular form which we use for Smita. Now, walks is just one word, one verb that we used in this sentence. Sometimes what happens is we require more than one word to form a verb in a sentence. Like this example, Smita is walking in the garden. Here is and walking both are considered verbs. Is the helping verb and walking is the main verb. So, did you see how sometimes we need more than one word to form the verb in a sentence? Let us see some important points. Some verbs express actions like go, sit, run, crawl, scream. These are the words which expresses actions. There is just not one kind of verbs that we have. There are different forms also. For example, different forms of the verb be tell us what a person or a thing is. Now, the words like is, are, am, was, were, been, being, when all these words are used in a sentence, they are considered verb and they will tell us what a person or a thing is, their being or what they are doing. For example, I say she is walking. So when we use is, we will know what that person is doing. Or I say he is a good man. What is he? He is a good man. So the word is will tell us more about the person. Similarly, the other words are used in a sentence. Different forms of the verb have show possession or belonging. We have three words as the forms of have, that are has, have, and had. Now, whenever we use the words has, have, and had, it will show us what a person possesses, what he or she has, or what the person has as a belonging. So, when I say she has two books, it means has word will make us understand what the person possesses. What is it? Yes, two books. Similarly, the words have and had also show possession or belonging. Examples, I have a house. She had a bag. Let us see one more important point. The verbs be, have, and do can be used both as main verbs and helping verbs. I hope you know from your previous knowledge what do you mean by main verb and what are helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Now here when we say the verbs be, it means all the forms of be. Is, am, are, was, were, been, being. Have, it means all the three. Have, has, and had. And do, it means do, did, does, all. So these verbs can be used as both main verbs and as helping verbs. Let us see some examples. She is a pretty girl. Here the verb is the main verb. We do not have any other action. Pretty is an adjective there and girl is a noun. So is the main verb over here. Ria is going to school. Here going is the main verb while is what? The helping verb. So did you see the form of be, that is can be used as both, sometimes as a main verb and sometimes as a helping verb. Sam has a pet dog. Here has is a main verb. Sam has completed his work. Here completed is the main verb and has acts as a helping verb. I do my work very fast. Do is the main verb over here. He does not go to bed before 9 p.m. Here go is the main verb, while does not is what? The helping verb. I hope this point is very much clear to you, and please remember this is very important from the perspective of exam too. When we study verb, it is very important for us to know what is subject-verb agreement. The subject and the verb in a sentence must agree in number. Here it means the subject, that is the person or thing who is doing the action, and the verb, that is the action in a sentence, both must agree in number. A worm wriggles in water. Here, a worm is a singular subject. We are talking about just one worm. That is why it is a singular subject. That is why we use wriggles as a singular verb. Is this clear to you? If the subject is singular, the verb that we use with it must also be singular. Worms wriggle in water. Here, worms is a plural subject because we are talking about more than one worm. And wriggle is a plural verb. Thus, whenever we have a plural subject, we use plural verb. I hope this is clear to you. Let us see some examples to understand the previous point more clearly. If the subject in a sentence is singular, the verb should also be singular. The hen lays egg. Here the word hen is singular subject. That is why we use the verb lays as a singular verb. Rafiq is playing football. Rafiq is one person, so singular subject, and we used is as a singular verb there. If the subject in a sentence is plural, the verb should also be plural. Hens lay eggs. Hens means plural, plural subject. That is why we used lay as a plural verb. Rafiq and Joseph are playing football. Here we have the plural subject in two persons. That is Rafiq and Joseph. So we use the verb are as a plural verb. With you and I, we always use a plural verb. Now you acts as both singular subject and plural subject, and I always acts as a singular subject. But with both these pronouns, we will always use plural verb. Example, you are happy today. We cannot say you is happy today or you am happy today. We always have to use you are happy today. I swim very well. Here I is a singular subject, but we will still use the plural verb, that is swim. We do not say I swims very well. It is always I swim very well. Transitive and intransitive verbs. These are the two kinds of verbs that we have. Now, before dwelling into what are transitive and intransitive verbs, it is very important for us to know what is an object and what does an object do in a sentence. The object in a sentence is the word that receives the action of the verb. I told you earlier that in every sentence we have a verb. It is nearly impossible to construct a sentence without a verb. So, verb means an action, and an action is done by a person. At the same time, an action is also received by a person or thing. So, the one who receives the action is called the object. Let us see an example. My father bought a blue car. Here my father is the subject. My father is doing an action, that is of buying. And here we use the word bought as a past verb. Bought what? A blue car. So, bought is a verb and a blue car is the object. Who received the action of buying? A blue car. Or what did we buy? A blue car. That is why we say that a blue car is the object in this sentence. Definition: a transitive verb always takes an object. The shelf holds. Here, the shelf is the subject. Holds is an action. But we do not have an object here. So, a sentence or a transitive sentence would be incomplete without an object. The shelf holds 3 books. Here, 3 books acts as an object. So, the sentence is complete and called a transitive sentence because it has an object, that is 3 books. An intransitive verb does not take an object. The train arrived on time. Here the train is the subject, arrived is the verb, and we do not require any object here. So, arrived acts as an intransitive verb because it does not require any object. Many verbs can be either transitive or intransitive depending on how they are used in a sentence. The audience watched the play Julius Caesar. Here, the audience is the subject, watched is the verb, and the play Julius Caesar is the object. So, watched is a transitive verb here. The cook watched while the vegetables were being cut. Here, the cook is the subject, watched is the verb, while the vegetables were being cut is just a part of the sentence. We do not have any object here. So, watched will act as an intransitive verb. So, the same words can act as a transitive as well as an intransitive verb depending upon the sentence. If it is a transitive verb, it will have an object with it. If it is not a transitive verb, then it will not have an object with it and it will be called intransitive verb. An easy way to find out whether a verb is transitive or intransitive is to ask the questions who and what to the verb. If there is an answer, the verb is transitive. Now in exam, you will be asked to identify the transitive and intransitive verb. So what you must do is, first you should find out what is the verb in the sentence. Once that is done, you must ask the question who or what to the verb. If you get an answer that is who is doing the action or what is the action, then it would be called it is a transitive verb. If you do not get an answer, it means it is an intransitive verb because there won't be any object. Let us see some examples. Winnie played cricket. Now here played is the verb. You must ask the question, played who? Do you get any answer? No. Winnie played what? Yes, we do have an answer in the sentence. Played cricket. So, played is the transitive verb over here. Smita slept early today. Here, slept is the verb. So, you must ask, slept who? Do you get an answer? No. Slept what? Do you get an answer? Again, no. So, here, the verb slept is an intransitive verb. I hope this is clear to you. Now, let us do an exercise and see if you understood the chapter very well or not. State whether the following sentences are transitive or intransitive. First, she advised me to consult a doctor. Now, first of all, let us find out the verb here. What is the verb? Advised. Yes. Then we ask the question, advised who? We get an answer, advised me. So, advised is a transitive verb. Yes, very good. Let's invite all your cousins as well. Here, the verb is invite. Invite who? Cousins. So, invite is a transitive verb. I waited for an hour. Waited is the verb here. Waited who? No answer. Waited what? Again no answer. So this is an intransitive verb. Very good. I received your letter in the morning. What is the verb? Received. Received who? No answer. Received what? Received letter. Yes, so this is a transitive verb. I am going to send her some flowers. What is the verb here? Send. Send who? Send her. And send what? Some flowers. We got the answers. So it is a transitive verb. Very good. I hope this chapter was clear to you. Kindly do the worksheet that will be sent to you along with this video. And thank you.